Here's a hard lesson I've learned. Authenticator apps work great until they don't. And when they fail, recovery can be painful. I need to be really candid about the format of this video. I'm going to be referencing my notes quite a bit because I need to be really careful about the details, the sequence of those details, and the nuances that are involved here so that you can get what I'm talking about. Okay, I need to go over the story that actually led me to create today's video topic. While I was researching and testing Authenticator app, I ended up hosing my Authenticator app, and I learned a hard lesson about that. So what I did was I installed the same app on another device, my iPad, kind of pretending that I had lost my first device, which was my iPhone. The security method to authenticate me was solid. I was able to install it using authentication measures on an alternate email account and a recovery code. So I logged into the authentication app on iPad and it restored its backup and everything worked. The gotcha though was the iPad installation silently orphaned or deregistered the authentication app on my iPhone, and it no longer received the push notifications from the accounts that used that method. That's not too surprising. What was surprising is I couldn't configure my iPhone to start receiving those push notifications again. In other words, I couldn't make my iPhone my primary authentication device again. Also, just deleting the app from my iPad isn't going to register my iPhone to receive those push notifications again. And at the time of this recording, I'm still trying to straighten all those things out. There's delays and that sort of thing for security measures, and I totally understand it, and I'll get to the bottom of it sooner or later. But long story short, don't assume you can maintain 2 or more Authenticator apps across your devices, at least not without consequences. So what's going on here? When you log into an Authenticator app, the security method fully relies on a trusted device registration. If registration is disrupted, the account might treat the device as an untrusted device, even if you still physically have it with you. Therefore, I'm beginning to realize that Authenticator apps aren't the best option in all cases to securely log into your accounts. Device-dependent solutions create recovery risks. Once your device is deemed suspicious, that security method essentially becomes useless. Security isn't about having one perfect method. It's about making sure no single failure can lock you out of an account forever. So let's talk about how to mitigate those risks. Most critical online accounts are going to offer different methods to help prove you're you in addition to Authenticator apps. These include things like passwords, SMS, Passkeys, alternate emails, recovery codes, and physical security keys. And I recommend that you set up 2 or 3 of these. They are secure alternatives for times when gaining access to your account would otherwise be a huge problem. And the emerging star for secure accounts is Passkeys. So what are Passkeys exactly? Well, the short answer, they are device-generated credentials, and they can be securely synced across devices using trusted platforms like Apple Passwords or 1Password for convenient portability with extreme security. And the long answer is I am not a hardened security professional, so I'm going to have links down in the description to experts discussing passkeys. And let me take a quick moment to say, if you're finding value in this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you like videos like this one, go ahead and click subscribe. So let's talk about the benefits of passkeys. Passkeys are platform-based. They're not device-based. So they are portable across your devices, not just bound to, say, one iPhone. The focus is that passkeys balance strong security with better recovery options, especially when compared to single device authentication apps. It treats the user as the owner and not an obvious threat. Passkeys are supported by most password managers out there, including Apple Passwords and 1Password and several others, which makes passkeys conveniently available across all your devices. However, passkeys are dependent on the trust platforms, meaning Apple Passwords or 1Password. Be sure you know the recovery process. That means you need to know your Apple ID and password, or you need to have that 1Password recovery kit. Knowing this information or having those resources is security working as designed. And if you don't have that information, that security can feel brutal. So going back to my story about how I messed up my Authenticator app for my Microsoft account, well, I couldn't use the Microsoft Authenticator app to get into my account, but I was able to use my passkey because I had set that up previously on my Microsoft account. So, passkeys saved my bacon. Hi there, Future Mike here. I was able to get my iPhone re-registered with Microsoft Authenticator by deleting it from the iPhone and then rebooting the phone, reinstalling the Microsoft Authenticator app. Then I went in and signed in. I had to use my recovery code, all that stuff, and then it worked just fine. It started receiving the codes, the push notifications, and everything. So let's wrap things up. Make absolutely sure that you use at least one additional security measure to get into your critical accounts like your email and financial institutions, especially if that one method is the Authenticator app. Use something else with it as an alternative. SMS, email, passkey, something. Also, I'm just going to come out and say it. Consider giving up on device-dependent push notification security solutions like the Authenticator app, or at least demote it in favor of newer methods for your critical accounts. And obviously, I'm going to recommend that you start adopting passkeys as quickly as possible, wherever possible. Well, I hope this video helped you understand a little better about the security involved in helping you sign into critical accounts. So until next time, have fun, stay safe, and keep learning.